Hello, my name is Tim, my company is Sports and Touring, and we are performance Jaguar specialists. Really good XKRs are becoming harder and harder to find. We're constantly searching for them, but it is very rare indeed to come across an example which meets our standards. And it's rarer still to find a car which looks almost exactly as it did when it left Jaguar's factory in 2013. But that is what we have here. This is a beautiful example of this classic Grand Tourer. It's travelled fewer than 15,000 miles. Its ownership history begins with a senior Jaguar executive, we're reliably informed, and at 1 year and 3 months into the car's life, it was bought by the gentleman from whom we sourced it. And he kept it diligently and correctly indoors and with great care lavished upon it. And that is why this is such an unbelievably superb example of the XKR. And I am delighted to show you around. There is the Growler badge, which has adorned so many fine sports car and grand touring car designs from Jaguar over the years, and which sits so splendidly on the gloss black grille at the front of this particular example. Gloss black accents with Polaris white paintwork in stunning order. Very few signs indeed that this isn't a brand new car, and the condition of the paint is truly sensational. This car hasn't been through one of those horrible mechanical car washes. It's obviously been hand washed and detailed. And when it came to us, it didn't need a deep decontamination and clean. We gave it one anyway, but it didn't need it because it was in such fine order. We can see the speed pack front splitter there at the front, which we noticed are the side skirts and the rear splitter, along with that beautiful big spoiler on the boot lid, all in fantastic order. The bright, shiny quad tailpipes, which again, often tarnished on an XKR, but on this example, because it's been kept indoors in stunningly good condition. And these beautiful Kalimnos wheels in gloss black, 20-inch alloy wheels with the machine screw detail look exceptional, as do the brake calipers. Often a low spot, the rear brake calipers in particular can suffer paint fading. I think these have been refurbished at some stage in the car's life. They are in stunningly good condition. Indeed, all around, this particular XKR is really one of the most impressive, if not the most impressive, that we have ever had the pleasure to entertain here at Trinley. And on that note, let's take a look inside. The car supplied, of course, with 2 remote key fobs and the owner's book pack, but keyless entry is one of the features of the XKR, so provided the key is somewhere about your person, all you need to do is pull the door handle, the door unlocks, the power fold mirrors move into position, and we can look into this beautiful cockpit. Warm charcoal leather with contrast ivory stitching there in beautiful condition, and you can see immediately the side bolster here on the driver's seat, which you might expect to be faded and worn, is in stunningly good order. Just a word or two about the rear seats. Now, at the moment, we've got the front seats all the way back, and that means we've got a ton of legroom for the driver and front seat passenger. If we reduce that legroom a little bit, then yes, you can get a couple of adults into the back. I'd emphasise this is a 2+2. It's not a car for a long journey with 4 adults on board. But if you're simply meeting friends at the pub and giving them a lift home because it's raining, this XKR will look after that job very comfortably indeed. Putting the seat back there, and you can see the arrangement here for the seat belt to be retained. And let's sit down into this beautiful Grand Tourer. And from this seated position, look at the door card, which is in beautiful order. The leather, the carpeted area on the bottom part, that Bowers and Wilkins stereo speaker, and these beautiful 16-way memory seat controls which are in stunning condition. Looking around the rest of the cockpit, well, of course, the centre console features the armrest, which slides back to reveal the cup holders and lifts up to show you this little cubby hole with the USB and iPod connections. And by the way, you can pick up adapters which enable you to use modern smartphones with the XKR iPod connectivity. Forward of there, we have the electronic parking brake with hill start assist. And to explore further, let's close the door and fire up the supercharged V8. So, finger on the start button, foot on the brake. And this beautiful, smooth V8 springs to life. You can see that it's over revving slightly to protect the catalytic converters while they warm up. And we come back to the center console to see the switches for dynamic mode and rain, ice and snow mode. Very useful driving modes. Dynamic mode sharpens the car up for a more aggressive style of driving. Rain, ice and snow calms everything down most effectively should you find slippery conditions en route. The active speed limiter button there is used in conjunction with the cruise controls so that you can avoid briefly getting speeding tickets through the motorway roadworks. And of course, we've got the traction control off button. I'd suggest play with that with supervision on a wide racetrack in the dry, if at all. Then we've got this beautiful gear shift selector, the rotary knob which takes us from park to reverse, neutral, drive and push down and rotate for sport. And we can pop that back into park mode there. Maybe an echo of days past, but we have the ashtray and cigar lighter there. And then the center console, the lower part of which concerns the climate controls, so we have individual temperatures for passenger and driver, and the switches for the front and rear electrically heated windscreens and the front demist as well. That's the auto climate button and the timed recirculation button as well. Then we've got the CD player, of course, and above that the infotainment screen. This is the home screen here with the options down the side: audio, climate, phone, navigation and vehicle. And briefly, if we take a look around, under audio we have AM and FM radio, DAB radio, the CD player and portable audio through those connections in the center armrest. Back to the home screen, and the climate option enables us to direct the air where we would like it to go, and we can select the heated and cooled seats. Fantastically helpful in the summer when you sit in these black leather seats after the car's been parked in the sunshine to put the cooling on. It's very effective. And in the winter, of course, put the heated seats and steering wheel on and it will be much more comfortable on your drive. Back to the home screen, and again we've got Bluetooth telephony, of course. Satellite navigation is here, and a lot of people find the Jaguar sat-nav particularly good and easy to use, easy to interpret and so forth. And then back to the home screen, and behind the vehicle button we've got all manner of settings for the car setup, which you can explore. Over onto the steering column, and the left thumb pad has the audio and Bluetooth telephony controls. The left stalk we have the automatic lights, headlights, and over on the right stalk the rain sensitive wipers, and the right thumb pad the cruise controls are there. And again, everything in fantastic order. Often these areas on an XKR are grubby and difficult to clean, but these ones are in fantastic order. And then down here just above my right knee we've got the dimmer for the instrument binnacle, rear fog lights, boot release and petrol cap release as well. We've just gone out of focus slightly there, but you can see those now, I hope, clearly on that little button cluster. And there we are on the instrument binnacle, 14,774 miles that this car has travelled. And again, everything in stunning order: the leather trim, the stitching, the steering wheel, the dashboard, it's all in stunningly good condition. And an important thing, of course, about a convertible is how the roof works. So we will have a look at that now, and we'll put the roof up and down. and make sure that everything is working as it should be. I'll just spin the camera around, and I hope that you can see clearly as we use the button up here in the windshield to select the roof close. So first of all, the cover removes itself from the roof stowage compartment. The roof folds over the car, and then the cover moves back into position. The roof folds down and latches mechanically in place. And then the final step of the sequence is that the rear windows close and then the front windows. And it all happens in only a few moments. And this roof system, I should say, is very reliable indeed, nowhere near as troublesome as, how shall I put this, some of the German counterparts might be. Opening again, it's simply a matter of pressing and holding the button. The windows all roll down out of the way, the roof unlatches, folds itself so that the compartment cover can move out of the way. It then folds down into the stowage compartment, and the compartment lid closes, and again in only a few seconds you are ready for top-down motoring when the sun comes out. Simple, reliable and swift to operate, those key things which I believe are very important in a convertible roof. Okay, let's take a look in the boot. The XKR, of course, is a Grand Tourer, and that means there needs to be room in the boot. So, releasing it, we can lift the boot lid and see actually quite a sizable space, even with the separator in position. And this is the separator here. It's put into this position so that we can stow the roof away. If you're driving with the roof up, of course, you can have the separator itself in the stowed position, and that gives you more room at the front of the boot space here. But nonetheless, plenty of space. Provided that you pack soft-sided bags, you're going to get enough for 2 or 3 weeks away in here without trouble. You can see the compartment extends forward quite a long way there under the separator. And then in this particular XKR, we've got the large stowage under the boot floor, where the spare wheel might go in another example. That gives you, again, a lot of room for your touring bits and pieces. Or you could indeed carry a spare wheel with you if you prefer. Those packs are readily available. Again, you can see all of this is in very fine condition. The carpet is clean and unblemished. No unpleasant odours. There haven't been any spills in here. It is all in sensationally good order. Closing the boot. We'll come round to the passenger side of the car. And again, I dare say it's truly impressive. This door card is in factory new condition. Everything correct and clean, precisely as it should be, as is the scuff plate here. In fact, I dare say that is fabulously good. And this beautiful warm charcoal seat with the contrast stitching, and of course the embossed R logo there on the headrest, all looking sensational, as is the centre console and the dashboard, and the carpet and mat, again just in the correct order. Under the bonnet, and there is the supercharged V8 producing 510 PS, 503 horsepower, and taking this gorgeous XKR from 0 to 60 in just 4.6 seconds. But this isn't a drag racing car. It isn't a car that's exclusively about straight line speed. It's a car which is much more about the experience here, behind the steering wheel. The way that the XKR, like the F-Type which followed it, albeit that that's a sports car and this is a Grand Tourer, of course, but the way that they both connect driver and vehicle and road and journey. And when you have an opportunity to drive an XKR on a country road, for example, with a mix of bends and little straights where you can sprint a little bit, it is so rewarding, particularly for a vehicle of this size, because this is a large and comfortable car. No one would claim it was lightweight, and yet it is nimble and agile and dynamic. And those are the things that make the XKR the enormously well-regarded Grand Tourer that it is. And again, under the bonnet here, you can see everything in very fine order. It's crisp and clean. The service history is very fine. This car has passed all of our technical inspections without incident, and it is working in perfect order and ready to please its next keeper. So thank you very much indeed for watching. It's been an enormous privilege to show you this beautiful XKR. With Sports and Touring, we're just outside Andover in Hampshire, open 7 days a week by appointment only. You're very welcome to telephone, email or WhatsApp us with any questions, or if you'd like to see this car either in person or by video call. It'll be our pleasure to send you a link to the Google Drive. That's our online folder with higher resolution photos and PDF copies of important documents for your perusal. If you've got a car to dispose of on your buying journey, we'll give you frank and honest advice about the best way to achieve the maximum value with the minimum inconvenience. And if you'd like to chat about finance, we can do that as well. We're authorised and regulated by the FCA, and we work with a really brilliant broker. Do please take a few moments to read our reviews in Auto Trader. I am ever so proud of the things our previous customers say about us. And I'll close by saying thank you again. Feel free to like and subscribe to us here on YouTube, and we will look forward to hearing from you very soon indeed.